Hello, hello, my lovely guardians. Alright, talisman, potion, totem. This is gonna be another Nunu in the jungle. We're gonna start Nunu in the jungle like many Nunus by stealing the enemy's buff. In this case, it's gonna be the red buff. But do not alarm anybody. We are going to sit in the brush because Top could just be hanging out right here. Top could be attempting to help as well. We'll try to. We might steal another different, or we might steal a different camp. We might steal nothing. But what we'll do is we'll disrupt Nidalee's ability to camp properly, because Nidalee up here, right here, she's looking for a fast kill with Thunderlord's Decree. Okay. I'm surprised that Zion didn't try something. Zions, I find, are like always trying to try something silly. Alright, so we're gonna grab Scuttles here. I'm lucky enough to catch him. There he is. That'll keep an eye on there's Nidalee. She must have come directly from finding out that her buff was gone. Oh wow, she's trying again. Oh wow, and she get all of them? Oh, it was an execute. Alright, so Nidalee is going to be pretty darn far behind here. She's going to be super behind. Nidalee is a champion that wants to get going in the early game. We're gonna see if we can get Scuttles up here real quick. Right, nice. That'll give a heads up to our various laners. So yeah, as far as this game stands, it's pretty much in the bag because the Nidalee doesn't know how to play. If you have a jungler like Nunu, well, okay, here's a couple of things. Like, you've got your jungler. Who's the Nunu? He just stole a camp from you. He's gonna steal several camps. So it's like, what do you do? Well, anyway. Alright, so that was basically a full clear for us, including right up here. We're going to be looking for an early dragon. We're going to be grabbing that. I'm not exactly sure where Nidalee is. I would think... Okay, there's Nidalee. The Diana went back unnecessarily. Okay. Since I warded like that, it's gonna be a little tricky. But we're gonna try dragon. Give him a shot. Give him a shot at the title. Use both pots here. Should get it no problem. There's Nidalee. Let's see if we can be greedy here. We might have to back away. Nidalee's still staying though. Come on, Nidalee. I want your buffs. Alright, that's awesome. Well, Nidalee will have to settle for nothing. Alright. That's rough. What I was planning to do is wait for my smite to come up, but I didn't wait for my smite to come up. Or the smite just never appeared. No Smiterino! And that's perfectly fine. We're going to... Okay. So as far as the game is concerned, we're ahead. Okay. Continuing to get vision. Another thing to keep in mind, Diana's power spike is right now. That's why Nidalee has been visiting mid lane quite a lot. Our top laner is Ilioi, and I'm not even going to attempt to help her. And the reason why is Ilioi, if you know how to play the champion, you shouldn't need any help at all. And not only that, like, she falls off fairly hard in the late game. So Ilioi should be able to take care of Ilioi itself, essentially. There's Nidalee again. I mean, she's doing the part. Wow, there you go. Wow, double kill. Wow. So this game is pretty much over. At this point, oh, let's actually put a ward right there. Okay. We're not gonna get this guy because Nidalee could be. Nidalee showed me that that she can still pose a large threat. All right, so we're gonna go back. There's Nidalee. Nice. Okay, we're gonna grab that. We are gonna grab that. We're gonna grab that. All right. Now, dragon is in 1 minute. And Nunu, as a Nunu, you need to be focused on all dragon-like objectives. You cannot be goofing around when it comes to those things as a Nunu. So there's 40 seconds on our Nunu here. We need to get over there. Now, the risky situation right now. Put some boards over. Gonna pull it out over here. To be able to take this relatively quickly. Yep. Adios. Oh, there was Nidalee too. She kind of evaded my wards. Alright, we're gonna tell these guys to get out. We could try to help them. No, we're not gonna help. Sometimes when you help people, it creates this idea in their mind that, now since we're done with this side of the map, we're just gonna go back. Get this item, and then the next item is gonna be Dead Man's Plate. And, okay, gonna upgrade to that. So yeah, we did not decide to continue doing that. Or we decided not to go in there because what could we have gained? Like, it would have been pretty difficult to get the tower. Alright. Now we're going to be attempting some stealing here. We still got 5 minutes on this. The way it might be screwed. Okay, I'm gonna use the blasting plant to get over. I'm gonna pull it over here. Alright. Now we're gonna go back. I'm gonna grab this item. Grab another one of those. Get back on the map. So right now, Kassadin might be at a point in the game where he's pretty strong, but not super strong. But Ash's late game, that is what is really hurting their bot lane, because Ash is just more late game orientated than Lucian is. And there's our handy dandy wards spotting out the Nidalee. And she's gonna find that there's nothing available for her. And she's gonna be a sad panda at that moment. But now that there's nothing to gain from that side of the map, we're going to steal from the other side of the map. Alright, little shrine orb action. Take that. I think we could, they're going back. I'd much rather would get, I'd rather give that over to Diana. Wow, well that, I wonder if that's gonna get, okay, that's not gonna get cast. We've pretty much stolen everything. We're gonna head back. We can get this item. Back. We've got 50 seconds on the dragon. I think that's enough time to where I can get the wolf camp. Alright. So this game has kind of gone a little crazy. I'm gonna do some ward sweeping here. Okay. So they're gonna have this. That dragon's gonna be theirs. So we're gonna push this forward. We're gonna ward up this side. Sadly, this is gonna be gone. Yeah, that dragon should be theirs. But they're still not taking it, interestingly enough. See you later. So Nidalee might want to defend her red. I'm not really sure where she's... Yeah, there she goes. They certainly took their time with that one. Nidalee will get the red. And I'm just kind of clearing camps here at this point. Alright, we're gonna head back. Now, Baron Nasher is up right now. We're gonna grab this item. Next item we're gonna get is Gargoyle Stone Plate. Get that. Gonna inadvertently blood boil the Ilioi. Gonna speed off. We're gonna do some board control here. Gonna take out this guy. Gonna continue with the ward control. And most likely hit the fly. Okay, I'm good. I'm not gonna try to engage that though. Going that pathing was dangerous because now my team is kind of I've kind of preempted them to go in there. Yeah, pretty much preempted them to go in there. So I think at this point, it has entered like maybe late game-ish. Alright, so we're gonna go back. Baron's still on the table. Diana starts falling off. But the person that we want to get ahead is the person that we want to get ahead is the Ashe. So at this point, Diana is going to be falling behind. Okay, I'm not sure why. Oop. So, our teammates have been making some questionable plays. They've been engaging too much, and that has actually thrown the game in kind of a strange funk here. Alright, okay, we can't try this. We have to... We have to back away. Now we really have to get vocal with our... There we go. Okay, she's in this bad spot here. Now we're all gonna need to get out. Okay. I'm gonna grab my blue. Alright, I'm gonna head towards Dragon. They might have the Baron here. So yeah, it's just the way that I said that they gained enough momentum to affect this stage in the game. Alright, so they're going to be at Dragon. They're going to get Dragon. We can't contest it. And what we need to do is contest Baron. Or get Baron, rather. A little early to put this. See if there's any more shenanigans here. Now we need some damage, bro. Damage. Okay. Don't need to pursue that. Once we get this, we should be fine. Okay. So these guys just don't know how to play. They knew how to affect the early game, but they didn't know how to affect the late game. It's a little bit sad, but that's how it is sometimes, you know? A ward right there. We're gonna cancel the silly surrender. As far as the strength goes, it's gonna be strength with the Cassidon. So we're definitely going to look to sell that and get that item. But everybody can make mistakes. And Lucian is not a champion that is strong. Yeah, she's got to get out. She understands, like, how to play. She won't make that mistake where she extends too far. Okay. All right. So Gianna, what she was doing was, scanning. Okay, there's a lot of people down there, so we're gonna go up here. Okay, so they're boned down there. Get away from that. Gonna do what we can with the tower here. Be able to get the tower. Now that actually made her stop what she was doing. That's pretty interesting. We're gonna get this. Just gonna walk past all that. Alright, we're probably dead though. Wow, okay. But yeah, the Kassadin hit a point in the game where it was essentially late game. And the team didn't respect that. And that's why we lost. Our team didn't understand, like, power spikes. That's essentially what happened. All right. So that was a pretty interesting game. Like, Diana had the advantage in the early game. So we're going to give this over to stayed cool, I guess. Ilya was still doing some stuff. So in the end, it was the Kassadin. All right, hold on a second, guys. So, okay. So what ended that was our team's inability to understand their strengths and weaknesses. Diana was a prime target of that, unfortunately. She didn't see that the power spike had been hit with the Kassadin. Again, and she was I think she was like going mid lane and she was going too deep. So there were a few instances where, but yeah. Could I have told her to get back with a signal or something? That could have been possible. I could have talked to her in game. That's not recommended. I mean, it's like you would love to help some people with the way that they play by telling them something, but their brain doesn't work like that. Their brain is fixed into whatever mode that they're in, and they're not going to deviate. It's like they're locked. They're locked to their decision and their decision making, and until they're able to sort of like get out of that funk, get out of that mode, they're gonna be stuck in they're gonna be stuck in fight mode versus flight mode, I guess. They're just gonna be stuck in this mode where they can't do anything. Diana was strong early on, and I took advantage by getting 2 dragons. If I would have gotten the 3rd dragon, that would have been another difference. But they fought again during Baron. And then the enemy team got Baron. So although we got their tank, I think, yeah, we got their tank, but they continued fighting. And we should have put down wards and rotated. Because although we eliminated the tank, they still had enough presence to contest Baron. And I should have been more vocal, sending signals out that they should never engaged. The Ilioi was like first, like in the front runner of trying to engage that fight, because sometimes you think as Ilioi I can take on a bunch of people, but the truth is Ilioi's strength falls off in the late game. You really have to you really have to steamroll your lane as Ilioi to think you can try to smash the whole team. But yeah, we had to get farther in the game much quicker to have these kind of power spikes where we would have to rely on our mid-game champions. The only champion that is any relative, that has any relativity, that is relative in any way towards late game is the Ashe. And nobody, I'm pretty sure that she was just dead in the water for most of the fights. Lucian is actually a he's not as late game champion-y as Ashe is, but he's actually 8-3 and 14, seeing as he probably picked up a few extra kills during the end there. Just lending a hand. And who was the front runner to all that? Well, it was Kassadin. Kassadin had hit a power spike. I'm not sure what level his power spike is, maybe 11 or something. Whenever he gets his level 2 teleport, I think. But when he hits his power spike and he does constantly doing damage, they just have to, I mean, Kassadin can zip around the map and follow people and all that stuff. So Kassadin had a rough early game. Nidalee was trying her best to help. Diana even got a double kill in that respect, but Diana didn't understand how to carry into the late game. She didn't know that you can't keep going balls to the wall because you're being, you're being risky, you're making risky plays, and eventually you're going to get overrun by the Kassadin. That's just how the matchup works. But she wasn't aware of that. And as far as what I could do, tell her to, like, not tell her, but just signal her to get out of certain areas. I'm I knew that just getting the top laner, well, okay, no, we didn't even get, we blew his flash, and then he blew his ultimate. And at that point in time, we should have rotated immediately. That will provide us some advantage, but not much, because Sion doesn't need to flash or anything. He was just looking to get out of there so he can use his ultimate, and he was hoping he didn't have to blow his flash. But he had to blow his flash, and so he was out of there. So yeah. As far as items go, I really like Dead Man's Plate as the second item after Cinder Hulk. Then finally getting Stone Man's Plate to negate so much damage. As you kind of saw there, I was able to survive all that because of Stone Plate, which was really nice. Finally you've got, but my pathing was awful. I actually, even though I was spotted, I should have pathed in a way that either directly went to base when I got spotted, because the way that I did that is I was able to get caught out by a number of people, and they were able to flank me. And if I should have realized that I couldn't get away, I should have just ran to the other side of the base, because I ended the game quicker by getting caught and then also going towards the base. I got caught quicker there and ended the game quicker. But it might have been, I mean, it's not right to say that what should have happened. Did the Alistar have a redemption waiting for me? I don't know. But when it comes to understanding your champion and why they're weak one moment, why you lose the next, that's one thing that is a tough thing to send a signal for. Not knowing your champion in that way, that's rough. Especially, I mean, like, I guess at this elo it makes sense, but it's still disappointing to see. It's kind of like you do your best as a jungler to get your team ahead, but not all the time as a jungler do you make the correct decisions. Like, I made the wrong decision in pathing. I always need to work on my pathing, because I get this idea that I can tank all this damage, and I really can't. I need to say that I need to path better when I know that there are 3+ champions in the area. Even as a Nunu, even as a tanky jungler, I need to pay full attention to my pathing, because my pathing there ended the game early. Alright. So as far as itemization goes, you've got Infinity Edge coming from the Ashe. She's actually level 15, so she was dying quite a bit in the end there. For me, I'm just full tank. I died twice. Unfortunate. And the Dead Man's Plate I really like as my second item, because you can dash around the map. Gargoyle's Stone Plate, really awesome item too. You negate so much damage. Diana got some survivability with Rod of Ages. I'm not sure if that's what you want to power spike properly with Diana. I think you would want Lichbane. So considering that she didn't go for a Lichbane early on and have a bigger power spike, kind of tells me that she wasn't a good Diana. Like, this Rod of Ages tells me that she felt enough pressure early on to get extra health, and that might be the way to build Diana, and there's nothing wrong with that, especially when she's getting results like a double kill in the mid lane. But it just goes to show, like, people's understanding of power spikes. When people don't understand that, or when people take it for granted, there's just little to nothing that you can do. I mean, because it's a hard concept to translate over to people. It's like you have a power spike. No, it's not a simple transmission into someone else's brain. When League is on, when League is like going on, you might as well forget about all communication during a game. But I know I didn't ping very much that game. I tried to ward as much as I could. I should have tried to ping back the Diana. Sometimes I think that some players have to learn one way or the other, but that's not the purpose of trying to win the game. The purpose is trying to convey enough information to your laners to get the victory. If there's 1 ounce of, if there's something that they don't understand about their champion, you need to ping in according to that, and then make the solid play. Like, for me to hang around, one of the things that we should have done is after he blew his flash, and then he was then he used his ultimate to get out, we should have simply got out, and I should have simply pinged for everyone to get out of the area. Now, I guess because like we couldn't see, that's one of the problems. We can't contest Baron at that point. And then they're in the area. It's it would have been, you know, a desperation play or something like that. It would just been a sad situation. Now, Cyan's ultimate would be down, but what does that matter? So at that point, it got pretty hard. It rocketed up a bit, and my team could have got a Baron, but I think it was difficult to communicate that to them. I think Ash, at some point when we were able to contest the Baron, well, they did have wards on Baron, so that might not have been an option. But our bot lane chose to do not a Gromp camp, but the bot lane decided to do a camp down there for some extra gold instead of contesting Baron. That's sort of like the mentality of like what I was working with. People that were choosing to do these little minor things when Baron as an objective is up. And if we can contest it, we might have a chance in surviving. So I was working with a bot lane that didn't understand the late game, and a mid game that didn't understand the late game. That's a tall order, and that's one of the reasons why we lost. So the next game, I'm going to try to pull my troops together. If I'm signaling people to get out of a certain area because of their power spike is now non-existent, then I should then that will, you know, hopefully open up certain things, because Diana getting killed like she was getting killed prompted the dragon being killed by the enemy. We couldn't contest that. And then me going after Cyan, well, we couldn't contest Baron at that point either. And that would have been a hard thing to communicate to everybody. Like, it's like we had to stay in the area and kind of threaten Baron, but we couldn't contest it necessarily. So pushing lanes and maybe getting a tower or something, but for me, that is a hard thing for me to conceptualize. let alone me to conceptualize and communicate to other people, because we were in such an odd spot. All right, so for the future, to avoid being in an odd spot, we need to, we really need to, I know I try not to fight, but in that was one of the reasons why I tried to go after the Scion. Yeah. But my style is, you know, I try not to force fights when I know they shouldn't be contested. But yeah, that is Nunu's style. But I'm sure there's times where I could have helped bot lane or something and stuff like that. When I play these support like champions like Nunu, I tend to think that the objectives are the numero uno thing to get. Because I'm late game. Oh, I don't know. My goodness. We could have won that under certain circumstances, but I just was not up to the task as far as managing the team, managing the Diana. If only, like, I need to have a signal going off, bleep, bleep, like a little light saying, okay, this light indicates to me that I have people in my game that do not understand the late game. And this is indicated by going down mid lane by yourself, all alone, and not helping laners or something like that, or not warding. It's not an easy thing to spot, and I need to have a little light that goes off. Alright guys, as far as itemization goes, I think I talked a little bit about itemization, but not completely. The Ilioi got Guardian Angel to, I don't know why you would get Guardian Angel on Ilioi. I guess, I don't know, because pretty much as Ilioi, you want to use your ultimate and bash a bunch of stuff. If you don't have your ultimate up and you're revived, what are you doing with Guardian Angel? I suppose that she's doing a lot of damage. But I personally wouldn't ever get Guardian Angel on Ilioi unless I'm like super far ahead, and she's not super far ahead. The Lucian got Black Cleaver, pretty much basic items, Phantom Dancer, and a Blade of the Rune King. Basic stuff. The Doran shield, I'm a little confused at. He's supposed to have a power spike earlier on. And Ashe was, so maybe he was expecting a double poke lane like situation. With Ashe, but that doesn't make too much sense to me. I guess Lucian was unsure about his laning abilities, so he got a defensive item, and that's perfectly fine. But he was not, but that also doesn't make any sense to me because he's got 8, 3, and 14. So whatever. He was waiting for somebody to help. And then you've got the tank, which is always, I mean, it's such a solid way to go, going tank in the top lane. And the impact that you have late game is just ridiculous, especially when, you know, Ilioi, again, is a difficult champion, and unless you just know her, like, so well and you dominate your lane, can you really take advantage of her, you know? She's a tricky champion to master, as well as you gotta just like steamroll your lane. That's so hard during the current meta to do stuff like that and still win. But the Scion really didn't do anything but farm up top, and he is a force to be reckoned with for the rest of the game. And he's just building full tank. He's gonna be all day and all night. And that's one of the bad parts of the Ilioi top. So hard to be it's hard to be effective and people to understand how to play Ilioi. But you do have, you know, early game advantage as far as being able to, you're healthy so you can survive things, you can steal souls to get free damage. And I was able to get 2 dragons because of the pressure that they were putting. Diana pressure as well. But the enemy spiked a little early in the late game, and then the map was theirs. And then here's the big man himself, Kassadin. He's got his Lich Bane. He's just gonna do so much damage. And then he's got his Zanya's Hourglass. I think he did not even spend his gold to get his last item there. It looks like he's got plenty of gold to get his last item. But maybe not. It's only until around I guess maybe 90 to 100k do people start seeing full builds. But then, you know, he's got a ton of, well, he doesn't have a ton of farm though either. So that could have been keeping him from his last item, even though he was a monster with those items. You've got the Gianna, Redemption, perfectly fine, shields, Ruby Sightstone for more wards, and then you got Nidalee, who was good enough to throw a few spears and try to get ahead in the mid game. And I thought that her performance was so inadequate that they would that the other team would just fail as a prerequisite. But they came back and they destroyed us. Alright guys, I will see you guys in a bit. Hopefully you guys understand a little more about certain champions and the importance of other champions in certain lanes, reliant on late game, early game, that kind of stuff. Alright. Hi-yo.